What's up everybody, and welcome to another Walkabout mini golf video here on Cloak Reaper Games. Today, we're going to be going over how to get a hole-in-one on all 18 holes of Venice Hard. I'll try to give you an idea of how hard to hit each shot using a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being barely tapping your ball, and 10 being as hard as you can hit it. With all that said, I hope you enjoy the video, and let's get into it. This one's going to be tough to get every single time just because your line is so thin and your weight needs to be pretty on point, but you'll at least be by the cup every time. So we want to get right next to that corner and hit it at about a 5 out of 10 on the weight. So medium, almost medium hard hit. It's a bit of a tight shot, but very, very doable. We've got 2 ways we're going to go about this one. First way is about as simple as it gets. Just hit it straight and into this cup at about a 6 on the weight, and then hope that it goes into this cup. Sometimes it'll jump right over it. Normally I prefer the straight shots, but for this one I think I'll actually be doing the bank. We're just going to bank off of the second step. Doesn't really matter if you go right or left. We're going to hit it just a little bit harder than the first shot, about a 6.5. It'll bank over with just the right line to go into the cup, and hopefully into the actual cup you need to get into. So for this one, your weight matters a ton. If your weight's off too much, you're going to miss that post every time. But if we look over to our right, we're going to go onto this second giant slab of stone, I guess, and look right here, and there are 2 little dots. I know it's crazy hard to see on the screen, but they're there. You can see them in game. But if you can't find them, you can name it the mid space of this slab, or where that line is pointing at. It'll come down, hit the post, and hopefully bank into the cup. You want to hit it about a 7, so you got to hit it pretty hard. It's probably not going to go in the cup every single time, but you're going to be over there. So we got a few ways to get this one. This particular shot requires a little bit of luck because you kind of needed to dunk into the cup, but it's very consistent at getting you over there and keeping you on that side. So I'm going to go right next to this dot on the right side at about a 6, 6.5 on the weight, and just bounce it over. This will probably be my preferred shot on this one. Very consistent. So we're going to turn to our right on the tee box, and if we look ahead of us, there's this line triangle right here, and we want to aim just on the left side corner of that. There are also 2 small dots you can see right here. It's crazy hard to see on the video. You can see them in the game, and just smack those dots. About a 6.5 or a 7. It'll bank behind you and hit the corner to bounce over into the wall and roll into the cup. This one's very consistent if you get your weight right every time. This is a good one, but your weight needs to be really, really on point for it to go in the hole every time. You still end up with a line though. So if we look a little bit to our left, there are 2 dots. The furthest left dot, we're going to go just on the left side of it. Hit a little bit harder than the last shot. About a 7.5, 7 or so. Bounce it over and try to get it in the cup. Definitely need some luck for this one to go in. It is a consistent shot, but it is a little bit tough to hit every time. So if we look past the 2 pillars on our left, we can see 3 small squares here. And this line right here, from a point of view where we're at right now, we can see it looks like we're hitting a couple inches before that line. If you're standing on the tee box though, it looks like you're hitting right where the line connects to the wall. So you're actually aiming where the line connects to the wall when you're on the tee box. But as you can see here, point of impact is a little bit before that. Hopefully that makes sense, but you want to hit there. You want to hit really hard at about 8 and hope it goes in. This shot's actually a lot easier than it looks. Still need a little bit of luck for it to actually go in the cup, but we're going to go just a few inches to the right of that leaf right there and hit it about a 6, 6.5, jump it over into the wall and up over to the cup. This one's just for style points, but if you can get the weight right every time, it'll work every time to get you over there. We're going to cut super close to the corner. This way is very, very specific. It's probably a 5, 5.5. It's hard to gauge this one. But if you want the extra style points, you can go for it. I like this shot a lot. It's a little bit easy, but you also can't sleep on it because you have to hit it just hard enough to not hit that helmet right there. But we want to go just left of plank at about a 7 on the weight, and so when we hit that first bit, it's going to send us with forward momentum. We want to also clip this second bit right here so it gives us loft and sends us up. That way we can come down and bounce into the cup instead of just flying straight over and out the window. Now if you have trouble getting the weight just right on that first one, you can try this one. We're just going a little bit more to the left, hitting it a little bit harder, and it's going to go to the right of the helmet and hit that angled piece of brick back there. Bounce it over to the left and back over to the cup. It looks pretty inconsistent, but it's actually not. You got it. First shot's as simple as it gets. Just hit it straight. Harder than it sounds. Second shot, definitely prefer this one. Actually, once I found this shot, went into a game, got it first try. If we look over to our right, a few feet down from the tee, there are 2 dots. We want to go just on the left of this left dot right here, about a 7 or so on the weight. Might have to fill this one out yourself, but hit it there. It'll bank one more time, go down off the wall and into the cup. Alright, this is a shot that you can do pretty much every time. It's not going to go in the hole every time, you're going to need some luck, but it's a forgiving shot. So pretty much anywhere in the space between that line and where my ball is hitting right now, anywhere in here at about a 7 will get you over next to the cup or in it. Just bouncing it around nice and easy. Now this one for real takes some luck to get it to drop into the cup, so much so that I left and came back after getting all the later hole-in-ones to do this one again because it just wasn't happening. We have a couple aiming points. One is right between these 2 dots. We want to hit it about a 5.5. And your other aiming point, which is the one I prefer, is at this line right here. And we want to hit it, like I said, about a 5.5, and you want to get it to land right here at the beginning, about a foot onto the awning, and then just hope and pray that it's going to go into the cup. If it doesn't, you're going to be safely on the ground right next to the cup, but I don't even know how many times I hit this shot before it finally went in. Definitely prefer the second shot for this one. For our first one, we're going to cut right next to this curb, fully commit, because we got to hit the top of the fountain here and hit it about a 6, 6.5, bake it into the cup. As you can see, if you're moving too fast, which you probably will be, and you miss the cup, it's going to go into the fountain. 100% prefer this shot, much less risky. You're going to go to our right, just slightly right of that line in the bricks there, and it's actually a softer shot than you think, about a 5, 5.5 on the weight. Nice and easy into the cup. Pretty consistent shot to get you next to the cup. Theme of this course, gonna need a little bit of luck to actually get it to drop in. But if you look right in front of us here, a little bit difficult to see on video, but there's a smudge right there. We're gonna go right next to that smudge on the right side and hit it super hard, almost as hard as you can, like a 9 out of 10. Alternatively, you can also aim at this line on the tile where it connects to this crate of vegetables. and then just hope it goes in. So there's going to be a few different ways to get this one for sure, but I think this is going to be the most consistent, most common way probably. Going to try to land on the end of this box just as it's getting to its lowest point, and that'll give us the right angle, the right loft, and the right momentum to bank back and into the cup. It's probably about a 4.5 on the weight, and the weight's probably going to be the toughest part, but you can get it done. Now this shot looks super erratic, but it's actually way more consistent than it appears to be. So we're gonna go to our right here, and got a few different aiming points we can use. First one is just a couple inches off of that crack right there. Another one is the point of where those tiles meet. And then one more is right over here between a couple of dots. Those. And the weight here is about a 6.5 or so. It doesn't have to bank off of that white piece. It can bank off of the desk or whatever, and it'll go over there and hopefully get in the cup. I looked and I tried to find another consistent, not crazy, extremely difficult shot to make here, but this is really the only one I could find, unfortunately. And it's just straight, about a 3 on the weight, and get it absolutely perfect so that it lands in the cup. Good luck, and let me know in the comments, please, if you know any other better shots for this one. Oh yeah, you want to land at the beginning of that second one too. If you land anywhere else, it's not gonna go in the cup. Oh nice, we're back to consistent shots that you can make every time, and they're not insanely hard. Going back to about that 6 on the weight, and we want to land on this bottom line right here, about the middle, almost lined up with that point right there, and just bounce it up into the wall, around, and into the cup. Got a couple of shots on this one. Again, our weight's going to be about a 6, 6.5, and if we look on our right, that last crack down there, we're going to go just a little bit past that, hit it pretty good, and get it to hopefully fall down off of the hill and into the cup, or roll back down the hill. Same result with this shot as the first one, but we're going to be going straight ahead and to the right instead of banking it off of the wall. So that little triangle in front of us, not that little, but we're going to go on the right side of it at about 7 on the weight. There is a dot we can use to aim right here, going right next to it, and try to get it to go up that hill and roll back into the cup. This is a tough one. Everything needs to go just right for it to go into the cup. And I couldn't really find another good shot for it either. But we're going to go straight at this diamond a little bit to the left of center on the right side of it, and bank it over into the cup, hopefully. About a 6.5 on the weight, probably, but like I said, this one's really specific. I have to fill it out for sure. Anyway, that's all 18 holes, at least one hole-in-one shot for each one of them. I hope this helped you out and you can get more hole-in-ones on Venice Hard and maybe even get close to -30 on that score now. But don't forget to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.